What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. It is Tuesday. It is August 5th. This is your first look. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, we have ran 10,000 simulations in the background, and we are going to do what we do. So if you're new to the channel, we have two slates. We got the early slate, which is 5 games. We got the 10-game slate. That is the main slate. We're going to look at all the pitchers in those games. We're going to look at usually top 3 to top 5 batters from each team. We're going to use Outlier. You can use the link down below. We also have giveaways. Here's how to win. 2 giveaways. The first way, like this video, be a subscriber to this channel, and you got to leave a comment. You do all 3 of those, and this video right here gets a minimum of 50 likes. You will have a shot at a free week of FTA+. So that is a week of all sports. MLB is every day. PGA is on Thursdays. MMA Saturdays, and NASCAR on Sundays. If this video gets a minimum of 100 likes, you'll have a chance at a free month, 150 likes, a free year, 200 or more likes, a chance at a lifetime pass. The second way to win, somewhere in this video, there'll be a keyword or key phrase. Look for it, type it in, and have your second shot at a free week. Now, you guys killed it over the weekend, absolutely killed it over the weekend. So we are going to have the 2 giveaways right now, and this first one is only for the views, or for the likes. So it has nothing to do with the keyword. Even if the keyword is in this first comment, we are still going to roll it for the keyword. There you go, Brad Harmon, congratulations, you did win. The keyword was fog, so we're still going to re-roll it, but you won for getting a minimum of 50 likes, so congratulations, you know the drill. Email me and let me know your username on our website. Say you are the 8-4 video likes winner, and we will get your account set. We'll put the time on it. There you go, and the winner of the keyword is Cosmo Napolo. Apologies. I understand I messed that one up. I can honestly say I think it's the first time you've won, so congratulations to you. But hopefully it says you turns out you're just bad at DFS. Hopefully we can help you out. So you, both of you, email me. Cosmo, you send me an email, 8-4 keyword winner is the subject line, and we will set you. And if you do not have an account on the site, I just need a username, email, and password, and we can set you up. So congratulations to both of you. You can check out the article right here. Also, if you watched yesterday's video, we do have a weekly DraftKings Fantasy Football League. It's going to be $5 in every week, and you'll win money every week. It should be the top 3 places pay money. And then if you play every week, which you should, at the end of the year, whoever has the top 3 scores will win. First place will win a free lifetime pass. Second place will win a free yearly pass. And third place will win a free monthly pass to FTA+. So that being said, hopefully you guys are ready to rock and roll. We're going to break down both of these slates. If you have questions, get those down below. Our Discord is also down below as well. So we do have, I forgot to mention, we've done 10,000 simulations in the background. After we go through the games, we're going to do our other segments, which you guys can find in the chapters. We're going to do our matchup tool. All the batters have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. We're going to do our pitches be crazy, and then we're going to do our Makin bacon at the end of this video. So make sure you stick around and you're ready to rock and roll. So I wanted to look at ballpark factors real quick. We've got Coors game, Toronto, Colorado, wind is blowing out, 28% chance of home runs. Nationals Park, Athletics at Washington, 12%. Got Angel Stadium, Tampa Bay at the Angels. It's blowing directly out right now, 18% chance of home runs. Dodger Stadium, St. Louis at LA, 11%, and Citizens Bank Park, 12% chance. Now, Kansas City at Boston, the wind is blowing directly in. It has minus 26% chance of home runs. PNC Park between San Francisco and Pittsburgh, minus 32%. And Cincy at Chicago Cubs, wind is blowing in as well, minus 20% chance. So those are all great odds to get pitchers in there if that's where you want to go with that. So that being said, we are going to look at the first couple of games. We got Houston at the Miami Marlins in this game here. It has not been confirmed who the pitcher is for Houston, okay? So we're kind of waiting. And they've got injuries and stuff like that, so that's kind of what it's hard to do. So you can't really figure out who's going to be good against a righty or lefty right now. But the batters I would use for Miami would be Augusto Ramirez, Xavier Edwards. I'm probably looking at Liam Hicks. Kyle Stowers is obviously another one that I would look at. Houston bats against Cal Quantrill. Home run, Chas McCormick's the only one. But against right-handed pitching, you can see like Christian Walker, Jose Altuve, and Jesus Sanchez. Those would be the 3 that I use. A couple more if you think you're going to stack against him. Victor Caratini, and probably Carlos Correa or Jeremy Pena, depending if everyone is going to be in that game. So pitching-wise, I'm not using Cal Quantrill, and I'm not using whoever they believe is going to be the pitcher for Miami right now, and we just don't know. And that's kind of the pitcher for Houston right now. So yeah, we'll go to the second game. We got Minnesota at Detroit. We've got Zebby Matthews versus Chris Paddack. Chris Paddack facing his former team. I know the team is bad. Minnesota got rid of everybody. They don't really have a ton of people. But they know what he's going to pitch. Like the staff knows what he likes to do in certain situations. The catchers do. And I could be wrong, but I always look at that and I want to stack the other team just because of that fact. Now I could be wrong. Chris Paddack could, shove. But I don't think he does. And you can see against right-handed pitching this year, the players that are on this team, I would look at Matt Wallner. I would look at Vasquez or Ryan Jeffers, whichever catcher is in there, because they caught him before. They know him. That's what I would go with. One of those catchers would be I would look at the catchers and maybe take one for a home run. Now, the odds are probably astronomical for those two catchers that hit a home run, but if it's Ryan Jeffers, I think Ryan Jeffers could go deep here because he knows what he likes to pitch. Cody Clemens is another one I'd look at. Royce Lewis is one. Trevor Larnach, like a full stack is what I would look at here, just because they know what he likes to throw. Detroit against Zebby Matthews, they've never faced him before, but against right-handed pitching, I would look at Riley Green, I would look at Kerry Carpenter, and I would look at Colt Heath in this game. You can always add a Zach McKinstry, you can always add a Torkelson or a Gleyber Torres, depending on the lineup that comes out, but this is what I would go with. I just have a feeling it's an early little slate here. Zebby Matthews, I don't know if I'm going to use him, but a sneaky little twin stack because I think ownership will be very low. I don't mind. So we'll go to the next game. We've got San Francisco Giants at the Pittsburgh Pirates again. With what the weather's doing, you could always look at this. Pitching-wise, we can definitely take a little gander at it. You got Logan Webb versus Mike Burrow. Now, Mike Burrows has already faced San Francisco once this year. Had a pretty damn good game there. Again, that was in San Francisco. It's more of a pitcher's park, so we always look at this. But the wind blowing in, I don't mind this. So they got rid of Yaz. So, they still got rid of some of their batters. They were not expecting. And then San Francisco, Logan Webb, he had a great game as well. I mean, you can see 17.47 strikeouts per 9. He's really good at home. The Pittsburgh Pirates, they didn't get rid of many players that I thought they would, batting-wise. That's kind of what I would look at. I think both pitchers are in a great spot here. I think both pitchers are tournament only. And what I mean by tournament is you go to our cheat sheet or you go to our tool and you go down to DFS chalk. So the chalk will show you the top 10 at each position and 20 in the outfield. And you want to see the projected ownership for these guys. And then if you're playing tournaments, you want to take the lower owned guys. That's how that works. Chalk, if you want to play cash, you want to go with the chalk most likely. So San Francisco against Burrows, again, they didn't have success against him. Against right-handed pitching this year, Willie Adames I would look at. Wilmer Flores I would look at. Probably Casey Schmidt. I don't mind. Again, it depends. Elliot Ramos is another one if you're not going to go Burrows. And then Pittsburgh bats against Logan Webb. No one has a home run. Against right-handed pitching this year, though, Spencer Horwitz, I believe, had himself a great Sunday. A couple of home runs. I would look at him. I would look at O'Neal Cruz. I would look at, depending, Andrew McCutchen, maybe Tommy Pham, Brian Reynolds. Depends on what's out there. But honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be using the bats in this one. I think I'm more comfortable using the pitching and just going from there in that game. Next game, we got Baltimore at Philly coming up. We've got Dean Kramer versus Taijuan Walker. They've seen each other a little bit. And yeah, I kind of like the pitching in both. We look at him, Taijuan Walker, 3-5 record, 3.82 ERA, has not faced Baltimore this year. Baltimore has been bad this year. We know that. That's just what they've been. Flip side of that, you've got Dean Kramer coming in, has got a 4.27 ERA, not ideal. Just looking at this, Alex Jackson has a home run against Walker. That is it. If you were to take any, because you think Baltimore is going to go, Jackson Holiday I would look at, Gunnar Henderson I would look at. Probably looking at, for a third one, Adley, but I don't love it. I kind of like Taijuan Walker here. Then Philly bats against Dean Kramer, like Max Kepler has a home run. That's it. But against right-handed pitching this year, you could look at Brandon Marsh batting 277. Would look at him. Trey Turner batting 286. I think Kyle Schwarber makes a ton of sense. I love a Philly stack here. So Kyle Schwarber, I think he should be in consideration for the NL MVP. He's got 38 home runs already. He's already tied what he did last year. We still got 2 more months of the season. He's just dominant. Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, I would add all of those. So if I'm looking at this, I'm probably going Taijuan Walker, and I'm probably going the Philly bats over Dean Kramer and Baltimore. Then the final game of the early slate that we have, we've got ourselves, the Athletics at the Nationals, Luis Severino versus Mackenzie Gore. Now, Sevy does a little bit better on the road than he does at home because he pitches in a minor league ballpark and the ball flies out of there all the time. Mackenzie Gore, he is capable of he's had 13 plus strikeouts in a couple of games. He's capable of double digits, but he does come in with a 3.81 ERA, so it's a little bit different. Sevy, 5-11 record, 4.83 earned runs. So, I mean, I do like Sevy when he's on the road. I will put it that way. But if we're looking at athletic bats against Mackenzie Gore, they have not had success. They really don't have success this year against lefties, so that does give a boost to Mackenzie Gore. Washington bats against Sevy. No one's had a home run against him. Against right-handed bats or pitching, they do well. I would always look at a Josh Bell. I'm surprised he didn't get traded. I would look at a CJ Abrams. I would look at a Brady House. Could be a cheap option for you. Obviously, James Wood is in there. Nate Lowe is also in there. Those would be the ones that I'd look at. I do like both pitchers. I think both are tournament only, but I do give the boost a little bit to Mackenzie Gore just because this year the A's have not hit as well on the road, and they really have not hit well against right-handed pitching or against left-handed pitching as they have against right-handed. So we will now move to the main slate. First game on the slate, we got, and we'll look, there's weather in Atlanta. Again, a little bit of weather. We don't have the fog that we had yesterday. That at the moment, that looks like it's the only weather concern, which is great. We love to see that. We really do. So we've got Kansas City at Boston. We've got Garrett Crochet versus Ryan Burgett. I'm just going to tell you right now, Crochet obviously is the number one here. He's very expensive. He comes with a 2.23 ERA. Splits, he has faced Kansas City once this year, 7 innings, 9 Ks, had 31 fantasy points. On DraftKings, our goal is to get between 20 to 30 per pitcher. On FanDuel, it's about 40 to 50 if you want to take down a huge tournament. Last week, we put up like 245 in one of our lineups that we put out on the cheat sheet, which is crazy. Then you got Ryan Burgett. He did get traded. Comes in with a 2.70 ERA. Splits-wise, he has not faced Boston this year. Boston does strike out the third most out of any team. So we look at that, and we look at his season home and away. When he's on the road, he's got a 196, which is on the road here. So I don't mind Burgett at 6,900. I think he's more of your tournament option, where I think Crochet is both cash and tournament as well. If we are looking at bats on both sides, we definitely can do that. Looking at the bats, we've got Crochet has already had success, like we said. I love Crochet here. I'm not looking at Kansas City bats against him. If you wanted to, I mean, Michael Garcia, Bobby Witt, Sal Perez, maybe. Boston bats against Burgett, Rafaela, Wilyer Abreu, Jaron Duran, Roman Anthony, Bregman. I'm okay with that. But I kind of like both pitchers. And there's just other games. We don't necessarily have to go into each and every game here. So kind of go with that mentality and with you as well. Cleveland at the New York Mets. You got Logan Allen versus Clay Holmes as the next game. Logan Allen has only faced 10 Mets bats. This is a pitcher's ballpark. And then Clay Holmes, 35 plate appearances in his career there. And we can dig into these numbers just a little bit more. So Logan Allen, you can see kind of up and down. We need about 20 fantasy points out of him. Even a good matchup against Colorado. He gave up 2 earned runs, only 3 strikeouts. They were low. Splits-wise, he has not faced the Mets this year. When he pitches on the road, he does have a 4.06 ERA. I mean, it's a 4.06 both ways, so it doesn't really matter. With the way the Mets hit, that I don't think I use Logan Allen. Clay Holmes, on the other hand, 3.45 ERA. Like you can see, it's been a while since he's had a good game where we got 20-plus fantasy points, June 7th, so almost 2 months. Kind of what I expected. He did start off pretty good, but he's a bullpen guy. They have him in the rotation. The innings are low. Like he hasn't gone over into 6 innings since that same game, June 7th. So if he doesn't go 6 innings, he's not getting you the 20 fantasy. I don't see him doing anything against Cleveland. This is just one of those games where I'm probably using the bats and avoiding the pitching. That would be my guess, but we can definitely take a look and see what they have to offer, like the bats that make sense. Cleveland against Clay Holm, nothing really. Against right-handed pitching, though, this year, yeah, I mean, I'm still using J. Ram batting 282 with 18 home runs. Daniel Schneemann will be a cheaper option. Steven Kwan's always in there. Throw in maybe a Kyle Manzardo, maybe Kafis, be a cheap option. I don't mind that. New York against Allen, no one's really seen him. Against lefties, they don't do as well. But, I mean, if Cedric Mullins is in there, I do like him. Jeff McNeil, I like him. Juan Soto, I do like him. Starling Marte, I'm okay with. Pete Alonso, another one. And Lindor being a switch hitter is what I'd go with in that one. But I'm probably avoiding the pitching in that one. The weather should be fine. It is a pitcher's ballpark, but I don't trust the pitch. Then we've got Freddie Peralta versus Joey Wynn. Freddie Peralta, 68 plate appearances, 193. Joey Wynn's 22 plate appearances, 350. I am looking at Freddie Peralta, and I am looking at Milwaukee bats. Christian Yelich, if he's in there. Sal Frelick, if he's in there. Isaac Collins, if he's in there. William Contreras is another one. Just depends on the lineup that Milwaukee throws out there. But give me Freddie Peralta and Joey versus Joey Wentz. Give me Peralta all day. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'd go with. Acuna being on the IL, he's obviously out of there. Riley's out of there. Churio is out for Milwaukee. You got Profar, you got Drake Baldwin. But, like, yeah, I mean, Sal Frelick is day-to-day. If he is in there, I do like him. If he is out, then Bryce Terang would make sense for me as well. But, yeah, I'm not going... And hopefully we get the game in because I do really like Freddie Peralta. Cincy at Chicago. So now we got the next game. Cincy at Chicago. We do have the wind blowing in, so it is supposed to be a pitcher's duel if the weather holds up and the wind continues to go in with everything. Now you do have Amanaga, who's 8,900, averaging 15.5, and you got Zach Littell, 14.3. So Zach Littell was doing very well against the Yankees, and then he got traded. And by very well, I mean went 5 innings. He gave up no earned runs. He had 4 Ks, but did have 4 walks. So that's why we're looking at 15.65 instead of like basically 25 there. It comes in there in this ballpark. I know the Cubs have been really good offensively. We know this. Splits wise, now home and away is going to be a little bit different. He's obviously pitching in a different ballpark now, but he was pitching in a minor league ballpark with the wind blowing out all the time and a ton of home runs. So I don't mind either of these guys. I think both are tournament with the way the wind's doing through 10,000 sims. It doesn't like either Cincy or Chicago bats. So I'm not going to go with them right now. I'm going to stick with just the pitching. We have really great pitching today. So you don't even necessarily need to have this game in there. But if you want to throw some in, I think Littell could be a sneaky tournament option. I might pay down a little bit for him instead of paying $9,000 for Amanaga, who is averaging only 15.5, which obviously is not the best. Now, Cincy, they're not at home. You look at splits, Amanaga at home is 288, so he's a little bit better. Basically the same, though. But you are paying $9,000 and not getting even 18 fantasy points, so I'm a little bit leery of using him. So we'll go to the next game. The Yankees at the Texas Rangers here. Yankees are reeling. No other way around it, to be honest with you. It's what they've got going on. And, yeah, I mean, they don't have much going on. Nate Eovaldi has faced them once this year. Did pretty well, but the bullpen came in and gave up some runs. Which, you know, he's averaging 21.7 when he's on. His game logs, he's going 7+. Splits-wise, he did face the Yankees. He had almost 20 fantasy points there. 1 earned run in that game. If you look at when that was, that was it. They lost 1-0. So he did really well, and he's had their number in their past. But Giancarlo Stanton does have, I believe, 4 home runs against him. Then you got Will Warren. Splits wise, he's faced Texas once this year, 5.2 innings, 10 Ks, 33.2. Again, his price then was $7,500. He's now $8,000. Which is still good. I mean, we could still look at him. So I think both pitchers are great. I think Evaldi's probably cash. I think Warren is probably your tournament or GPP lineup if I would go in that direction. But if we look at the bats, like against Evaldi, like Stanton has 4 home runs. Caballero has a home run. They need something to go on. They need to win. I don't know what's going on. Batters I would use, Stanton, Jazz, Ben Rice, Dominguez, Trent Grisham. Ryan McMahon. Like, I like all of them. The ones I wouldn't use, it just depends on the lineup that comes. I don't think I would use Wells. Volpe's one of those where it's up and down. Like, he doesn't seem to do very well until they're already losing the game and it's the 8th inning. So that's always something to look at. And then Texas against Will Warren. No one has a home run. Against righties, Josh, I would look Marcus Semien, Corey Seager. Maybe Higashioka, since he's been in that on the team before. Wyatt Langford's another one. So I do like both of the pitchers. Next game we got going on, we got Toronto at Colorado. So this is always a little bit iffy because it's in Coors. You got Barrios versus Kyle Freeland. I would use Barrios here, or Barrios, however you guys want to say his name. I'm not using Colorado, or I'm not using Kyle Freeland. If you're not going Barrios and you want to go bats on both sides, Toronto against Freeland, no, Dalton Varsho has a home run. That is it. Against lefties, though, like you can see Vladdy batting 333. I don't mind him, especially in Coors. I don't mind Alejandro Kirk here. I don't mind Bo Bichette. Ty France is always another one. And you can see Ernie Clement against lefties this year be a cheap option, bat 341 with 4 home runs. I could definitely see another cheap one, maybe Miles Straw or Davis Schneider if they're in there. Now, I don't know who's going to be starting, obviously. Colorado against Barrios, no success. Against righties, I would look at Hunter Goodman. He's got 14 home runs, almost batting 300. Warming Bernabel, 579. He's just hitting righties right now. If he isn't, I bet he will be in there. I'll look at him. Mickey Moniak, Tyler Freeman. Like, I think a full stack. I could see 12 plus runs in this game. I'm probably avoiding the pitching. Probably 100% avoiding the pitching, just going bats in this one. And don't feel bad about it because they're probably going to be highly owned. They're going to be expensive, but it's going to be worth it, I think. So the next game, we've got Tampa Bay at the Angels. Ryan Pepiot versus Soriano. Now, Pepiot got lit up by the Yankees. He's had a couple of bad games here. Going up against the Angels, he did go 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 13.8. Splits-wise, when he pitches on the road, he does have a worse ERA, and his ballpark at home is terrible. I'm probably off of Pepiot, even though the Angels do strike out the most out of any team. That is always something you can look at. So don't be alarmed by that. And then Soriano. You look at him. We've used him a couple of times. We did use him against Texas, and we did use him against Philly. But we also used him against Arizona and Texas prior to that, and he did nothing. That's what was unfortunate. Splits-wise, he has faced Tampa Bay once this year, 7.2 innings, so he went deep. 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, 22.4 fantasy points, so didn't do much, unfortunately. Game log-wise, because of how bad Tampa Bay has been overall this year, I don't mind Soriano at home, because you look at his splits when he pitches at home, but he is worse at home, so I'm probably not actually, if you dig into those numbers, maybe Soriano for tournaments, but I think we look at the bats over. I don't think we look at the pitching. I think we go with the bats. And looking at the bats while it loads, Tampa Bay against Soriano, no one's had a home run. Against right-handed pitching, though, you can see they do very well. So pretty much I would use everybody, but if I'm using them, Junior Caminero, Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lau, for sure. Jake Mangum or Josh Lowe could be in there as well. And then Angels against Pepiot. Taylor Ward does have a home run. Against right-handed pitching, though, like Zach Neto I'm looking at. Nolan Shanaway I'm looking at. Probably Taylor Ward, only batting 221, but 20 bombs. Mike Trout, 233 with 17. Like, I would look at them. Logan O'Hoppy's another one. Travis d'Arnaud, depending on which catcher's going to start. So if we think the game's not going to be a great pitching matchup, we get in there and we get the bullpens. We get to the starting pitching early, and then we get to the bullpens, and hopefully we have a massive game to go over. Offensively, not pitching. I'll put it that way. So looking at this, San Diego at Arizona is next. Ryan Nelson versus Yu Darvish. Yu Darvish has struggled this year. He's got a 6.46 ERA. Great start against the Mets. Because why wouldn't you? But other than that, terrible. That was in a pitcher's ballpark. Now he's in Arizona against this team. Not a good spot for him. The ballpark loves to give up home runs. I think you know that. 141 plate appearances against Arizona in his career, 265. I can't trust him. He's 6,100, so you can always throw him in for tournaments just because he is who he is. But I don't know. Tournaments, yes. Cash, absolutely not. Ryan Nelson really hasn't done anything either. He's averaging 11.8. He's going up against San Diego. Has faced him once this year, 5 innings, 3 Ks, got 17, but that's it. I'm probably looking at the bats just because of what this ballpark does and how far the ball flies out of there. It is what it is, but we will look at pitching here. We will see what we can find. We'll see what we can do. So San Diego against Nelson, they do have home runs. Xander's batting 364 with 2 home runs. Cronenworth's got a home run. Machado has a home run. Jackson Merrill has a home run. Against right-handed pitching this year, like I would use Tatis batting 280, Laureano batting 302, Ryan O'Hearn batting 290 with 13 bombs, Machado 318 with 10, Luis Arraez 309 with 3. I think it could be a pretty good game. I'm probably avoiding the pitching. James McCann has a home run. Corbin Carroll has 2 home runs against Yu Darvish. What I'm using, Corbin Carroll for sure. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. probably. Ketel Marte batting 314 with 16 home runs. I don't mind. Geraldo Perdomo is probably another one that I'll use in this situation there. So I'm avoiding the pitching. I think I like Arizona a little bit more, but I think it could be a shootout, and I think we could have fun with the shootout. So that's kind of where I'm thinking in my mind, just with all the other pitching we have. You got the White Sox at the Mariners. You got Brian Wu versus Davis Martin. I'm going Wu. I love him. He's the picture of the video in the article for a reason. So give me all the Brian Wu, and then give me some of the Mariners bats against Davis Martin. So depending on which bats you guys want to look at, yeah, I mean, just what we look at there. So overall, Mariners against Davis Martin. Randy Rosarena does have a home run against righties this year. I'm looking at Josh Naylor batting 291. I'm looking at him. Eugenio Suarez with 25 home runs. I would look at him. I would look at J-Rod. I would look at Randy Rosarena. And obviously, we got to go with Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, in a full Mariner stack. If for whatever reason you think Brian Wu is going to have a bad game, Benintendi has a home run. I mean, you could go Colson Montgomery. You could go Benintendi, Lennon Sosa, Miguel Vargas, and Mike Tauchman maybe. But I'm not going to that. I'm not doing it at all. I'm going Wu, and then I'm going Seattle as a stack. And I'll let you guys know if I'm right or wrong. So, yeah. The keyword of the day is jerky, because I am in the need for a great jerky recipe, homemade jerky. Would love to know if you guys do it, or if you know someone who does, you can give me a recipe. The spicier, the better, guys. Let's go with that. Then the final game we've got going on, we've got St. Louis at the Dodgers. We've got Miles Michaelis versus Emmett Sheehan. Sheehan's never faced him before. Michaelis, 91 plate appearances, 333. I want nothing to do with Michaelis at all. Sheehan comes in, really hasn't hit value that we need. 7,200. He's at home. You look at his splits. His home splits are worse. I'm probably avoiding this one pitching-wise and just going offensive. So just looking at bats overall, St. Louis against Sheehan, like we said, never seen him before. Against right-handed pitching this year, Alec Burleson batting 296 with 12 home runs. I would look at him. Brendan Donovan, probably looking at Wilson Contreras, only batting 248, but 10 home runs, so that's still great. A couple more if you want a full stack. Mason Wynn makes a little bit of sense. I think a sneaky one that under-owned here might be Lars Nootbaar on this one. Then I'm just going a full Dodger stack. Like Mookie Betts has 2 home runs. I don't know if I'll use Betts because he has been struggling this year. I would use Freddie Freeman. I would use Ohtani. I would use those two for sure. Will Smith batting 388 with double-digit home runs against righties. I would use him. Andy Pages is another one that I would. So in conclusion of this game, I'm avoiding the pitching. I love a full Dodger stack here. I'm okay with some of the St. Louis bats as well. If you wanted to go like on FanDuel 4, because you do a stack of 4 and a stack of 3, stacking that game, if you can get it in there and find the pitchers, might be great as well. Like you can see, like I don't mind Crochet. He's very expensive. I'd rather pay down a little bit for Brian Wu. Pay even more down for Freddie Peralta. Evaldi makes a ton of sense. Will Warren's a sneaky one, I think. Burgett could be a sneaky one down there at 6,900 as long as he gets the 5.5, 6 innings. 5.5 innings. 5 innings to 6 innings. If he can get that under his belt, I'm okay with it. So there you have it. That is the breakdown of the early slate and the main slate. We are now going to go over all of our batters. I have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. There's not a ton today, guys. Hopefully you weren't expecting a ton because there is not. So these are all the batters that have a 10 out of 10. Now, these are through 10,000 sims. We do update to 20,000 at about an hour or two before first pitch. So make sure you check that out. So number 1 is Shohei Ohtani. Love him. Like I said, probably my favorite bat of the day. Ty France is 2. Bo Bichette is 3. Vladdy is 4. 5 is Addison Barger. 6 is Josh Bell. 7 is Geraldo Perdomo. 8, Gleyber Torres. 9, Josh Smith. 10, Jose Ramirez. 11, Stephen Kwan. And finally, 12 is Josh Naylor versus Davis Martin. Pretty much all the batters that I said I wanted to look at, they popped in the simulation. Now we're doing the pitches be crazy. These are the bottom 5 teams that strike out the most and the pitchers going against them. Ryan Pepio at the Angels. The Angels strike out 9.67 times per game, 9.56 at home. Number 2 is Jose Barrios at Colorado. Colorado strikes out 9.6 times per game, 9.11 at home. Number 3 is Ryan Burgett at Boston. The Red Sox strike out 9.02 times per game. It's only 7.91 at home, though, so it's always something to look at. Davis Martin at Seattle. Seattle strikes out 8.81 times per game. Seattle. Hold on a second. That was the wrong one. Seattle on this slate so far through the year, they strike out 8.89 times per game. They strike out 8.98 at home. And then number 5 is Evaldi versus the Yankees. The Yankees strike out 8.81 times per game, 9.5 on the road. So that's pitches be crazy. Now we're going to do our make and bake it. So what we're doing here is we are looking at some of our favorite batters that we think could get you 2+ bases, or we think could get you 1+ hit plus run RBI. Maybe you just go with RBIs. Maybe you go with runs. It just depends on what you want to go with. But these are the batters I would target. Ohtani is my number 1. Number 2 is Ty France. 3 is Bo Bichette. 4 is Addison Barger. Love a lot of Toronto and Colorado. 5 is Luis Arraez. 6 is Jackson Merrill. 7 is Manny Machado. 8 is Colt Keith. 9 is Brent Rooker. And finally, 10 is Ketel Marte versus Yu Darvish. And then pitchers we can look at for strikeouts. Now, again, you can use these for either tournament options. You can use these for if you're actually doing sports betting as well. This is kind of what I would target. Brian Wu, if you can find a line for 6 to 7+ strikeouts against the White Sox, I'm okay with that. Garrett Crochet, 6 to 7 strikeouts against the Royals. Zebby Matthews might be sneaky. 6 strikeouts if we can get against Detroit. Number 4 is Freddie Peralta versus the Braves. 5 to 6+ strikeouts. Finally, what I would look at, Nate Evaldi against the Yankees. 5 to 6+ strikeouts. I could see if the Yankees continue to offensively struggle, he could get 8+ strikeouts in this one. I don't know what the line would be. Your book might not even have it, but definitely check that. So that's what I've got for you guys on this Tuesday. We broke down the early slate. We broke down the main slate. Hopefully this video found you well. Hopefully you guys have success. Do not forget to like the video. If you want to help out the channel, watch it multiple different times. Watch the entire thing. Like it. Leave your comment there. Make sure you have the keyword in there. Do not flood the comment section because YouTube algorithm will sometimes they'll pull the comment out if it looks like it's the same exact comment. It'll hold it for review or something like that for spam. And if I don't see that notification, I won't see your comment. So 1 to 2 comments per person, usually you're okay with. If you do more than that, a lot of people get screwed over. So that's what I've got in this video. Let's have a great Tuesday. We'll be back Wednesday and have a great day. Good luck. And as always, bring home some bacon. Peace.